What is up, fellas? Welcome to December General Assembly. Captain Fairman in the house. And it has been one wild ride this year. So glad you're here. We're going to wait just one more minute, let people get here before we get started. Hope you guys are all enjoying winter, slowing things down, stopping the rush of your project, spending time with your family. It's that time. And we're going to have an amazing presentation today. I want to talk to you about reflection, getting real, looking at the year and learning from this last year. Such an important thing for us to do. And I've been doing this myself in the last few days, last few weeks. I have learned a lot about me as a man, about what I need to do to take my game to the next level. And I want to impart some of that to you and encourage you to enter into the same process so that you can get the lessons that this year is here to teach you. So you don't have to repeat the lessons going forward in any way. That is the goal of our presentation today, is so that we do not have to repeat those lessons again. If we can get them now, we get set up for success. So first, just to give you an update on the Spear Kingdom and how we're doing. This year has been a huge learning experience for all of us. We've grown so much. Wouldn't have been possible without you and without your support. Those monthly subscription fees go to build the future generation of men who can be the leaders this world needs. Please know that. And we have been making a lot of upgrades. We just released a new time mastery course. We're going to have other courses coming out soon as well. In 2017, we're going to be launching courses on fashion. We're going to be bringing on some female instructors. We're going to be having a lot of more public webinars because those have been so well received. That's been such a valuable thing for all of us. So we're going to be doing monthly webinars throughout 2017. But the thing that's the closest to my heart, right? There's so many cool things that we're doing, but the thing that's near and dear to my heart is the high schools. And we had our first high school final yesterday. 12 young men got in a van, came to Coronado, California, where they entered into the gauntlet, a timed maze testing every aspect of their potential. We ran these young men through one of the hardest experiences of their life. They had to run from station to station. Each station was a unique challenge. They had to meditate in a busy intersection, and they were graded on their ability to focus the mind. They had to go into a hotel and introduce themselves to a beautiful woman, carry on a conversation, right? Learning social skills, learning how to present as a man. We had them answering questions about entrepreneurship and finance, and we had them solving very difficult riddles and puzzles, all before they had an exhausting, grueling physical workout on the beach of Coronado. Charged into the cold waves, as those of you who've attended Soul Power Sunday are familiar, and were initiated as members of Spear, and it was beautiful. Many of the boys shared how their lives have been changed. Some of them cried, some of them had just life-changing, profound experiences as a part of Spear training these last few months. And that for me is what this is all about. And I'm also inviting those of you who are here to step more into your roles as mentors for the younger generation. As we become more powerful, successful, and together, our job is now to teach, is to give back to those who need our help, to those young men who need our help, right? And maybe if you think when we were 18, if we were 20, if we had Spear, if we had something like this, a community that was supportive and trained us with all of these skills that we needed for the real world, we'd be so much further now. That's exactly how they feel, and that's exactly why we're doing what we're doing here. So it's been just such a beautiful thing to witness, and I feel so honored and proud to do this work. Lights me on fire if you can't tell. I am lit right now. So let's get into this presentation, shall we? I kind of like the music. I think the music is a nice touch. We're going to keep the background music going. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. And we're going to get started. So this is about the year in review. We finished another wild year within Spear. And this has been really the first year we were open to the public. So those of you who are here, you are here for our first year. And we've learned so much. Now, the more we can learn about ourselves from the year, the better next year is going to be. Okay? And it's time to take a really sober, honest look at what the heck actually happened this year. What did you actually do with your time? What did you actually do on a day-to-day basis? And what direction are you heading in? And is there a course correction that you need to make right now going forward? My goal is to help you answer some of those questions. So first of all, did you set goals for 2016? I know a lot of us did, but some of us didn't. Some of us might feel like, why should I set goals, right? Is it really useful? And if you didn't set goals for 2016, you just be sure you know why. Because for me, setting goals is powerful. It gives me a direction. It gives me a focus. It drives me. And if you don't set goals, my general experience is that most people tend to flounder without clear goals and objectives. And it's easy to have a goal for the next week or two or month or two because there's immediate problems. But as we learned in time management mastery, it's the hardest thing to prioritize goals that don't affect you for a year or 2 years. That is the real art of being a master of your reality, is to be working on the thing that's going to make you money in 5 years, that's going to pay all your bills in 5 years, but to work on it diligently now when it doesn't pay your bills yet. Those of you who are starting a business understand what I mean. And if, you know, this is so crucial to understand that you have to plant the seeds now and till the soil now to reap the harvest. A lot of people want to get into business for a few months and think they're going to make 6 figures, and it just doesn't work that way. Right? If you look at Spear even, we're poised to do 6 figures next year, especially because of our relationship with the schools. But you know, you got to put in the work to learn what this takes. And that's the same thing for any industry. It doesn't matter. So having goals, especially long-term goals, is very important. Very, very important. So for those of you who did set goals for 2016, which ones did you actually achieve? How did you do? Did you do 50%? Did you do a 90, 100? Where did you fall in? Now for me, I set a lot of goals. I'm very ambitious, and I'm learning how to set better goals because some of my goals were straight unrealistic. It's totally unrealistic, right? I wanted to write 2 books this year. Are you kidding me? 2 books. Crazy, right? Fairman hasn't even written 1 book. He's trying to write 2. Didn't write any. Right? Is this you? Can you guys relate? Did you have a crazy gym goal? Were you thinking you're going to squat 300 and you're going to bench 225 and you know, you're still stuck at 150? Is that kind of the deal? Because we just got to recognize that we have to know ourselves. And this all goes back to how well you know yourself. So if you didn't achieve your goals this year, for one of 2 reasons. Either you didn't set goals that are aligned with your values. Either you don't really care about the goals that you set. In other words, sometimes we set vanity goals because we want to strive for perfection. I do this. I say, oh, well, this year I'm going to do everything. I'm going to learn 2 languages, write 2 books, you know, bench 225, all the rest of it. And half of those goals I don't care about. I actually don't emotionally invest in. They're nice, superfluous goals. But if you don't make it emotional for you, the success of your goals, you're not going to hit them, right? So you either set the wrong goals because you weren't really clear with yourself about what mattered to you, or you failed in the process. You didn't implement correctly. So some of us had some big goals, got off to a great start, and then what happened? We fell apart because our systems broke down, or we didn't have a system to begin with. Okay? Our implementation fell short. Now, there's a saying that we have lots of great ideas, but a great idea without great execution is a shitty idea, because execution's everything. To be totally transparent with you guys, because that's my promise to you, Spear's a great idea with to this date, we've had decent execution, mediocre execution. There are things we needed to execute on better and that we are going to in the future for this to be the full glory of what we know it can be, right? So is it that you didn't set the right goals, or that you just didn't execute them properly? You didn't implement them correctly, and perhaps you didn't invest emotionally in them. Like, think about any goal you wanted to do. Did you make it life or death? Did you turn it into a battle that was life or death? Because if you turn it into that kind of a fight, chances are you got a good shot at hitting the goal, right? So you got to turn this into life or death. And if you can't turn your goals into life or death, then maybe you shouldn't set them, or maybe you should set a smaller goal. But no matter what happened this last year, right? Here's what I say. Awesome. Oh, you fell flat. You didn't launch a business. You didn't write the book. You didn't get the body. You didn't whatever. Awesome. You learned. You learned. You grew. Freaking fantastic, brother, right? Because there's nothing wrong with learning. The whole point of life is we're on a learning journey here. Ain't nobody not learning. If you're not learning, you're probably dead, right? And so we got a beautiful road ahead of us. Because we get another shot. It's a fresh slate. Everything that happened last year is done. And I want you to take a moment right now to let go of this last year. If you want to take a few deep breaths, just visualize last year, everything you did, everything that you thought about yourself and about the world just falling off of you. And I want you to come into this awareness that we are at a fresh slate. There's a brand new possibility calling to us, and we can show up however we choose. And this is the time, right? These next few weeks, you're not going to see us in Spear doing crazy goals and trying to hit this and that. This is not a time for that. This is the time for hard self-reflection. And a few hours of hard self-reflection is worth 1,000 hours of misguided work. You do need to work hard in life. You need to do your freaking work, right? But you got to work smart, or else that work is not being leveraged properly. You're burning your time and your energy for something that in the end of the day is not going to matter to you, right? So if we do this hard self-reflection now, we're going to save ourselves thousands of hours down the road, right? So let me share a little bit of my hard reflection with you, and maybe you'll relate to me. Maybe you'll connect to me. So I've been in a position financially where Spear doesn't yet generate the income that I need. And it's a labor of love. You know, this is something that for me is a beautiful vision that we're creating together. And for all the guys, all the trainers involved, it's not an income generator right now. It's a labor of love, and it's our commitment to a vision that we share of a global brotherhood, protecting the world, uncovering the ancient secrets, becoming extraordinary men together, right? That's the vision. But for most of us, we got to do other side gigs, right? And most of our trainers as well have their own training businesses that they already serve clients in all their different fields. We just combine them like Voltron. But in my personal life, I also work with other organizations like the Servant Leadership Institute, and I train and coach and help them with their programs, and they pay me pretty well. But one thing I've realized is that I split my energy badly this year. I divided it among multiple projects, among multiple side jobs. I put myself in a position where I only had the dregs of my energy to give to the projects that mattered most, which is my music, which is Spear. And going into next year, they're offering me all kinds of side jobs because I've done a great job. I was hailed as one of the top speakers that they've had and trainers that they've ever had, and they wanted to retain me. And I have to say, you know what? I have to say no. Okay, I have to say no to the good to say yes to the great. I have to say no to the good because I believe in these bigger things I'm doing, and I need to go balls to the walls and put myself in a position where I give my best energy to Spear, to my music, to the things that are making the impact on the world, not just being a henchman, right? Not just being in the trenches. So where do you need to say no to this year? What are those things that they're asking you, they're coming for you, and it might not be just a job. It might be a relationship. It might be a friendship. I've had to end a few friendships this year, just step away from them, I should say, right? Where do you need to say no? What do you need to eliminate, right? And as you know, in the focus funnel, it's eliminate is the first step. If this task is not essential, don't do it. Stop, quit, say no. Your energy is precious and it must be used for that true purpose for which you are here, that highest aspiration, that calling that is your unique calling. And if you don't know what that is, please go take Purpose Discovery course. You have access to these resources, right? So what do you need to say no to? What is the quick, easy money that's not actually going to help your long-term goals? What that you need to say no to so you can invest in the thing that's really going to make the money in the long run? What are those things that are draining your energy? And you're doing it because you're being nice, being friendly, but that you're actually not being nice to you. And if you don't love you, you don't take care of you, you ain't going to show up nice for people. You're going to be crabby. You're going to be nasty. You're not going to be that extraordinary man that you want to be if you don't take care of you first, right? Build the foundation. So this is the hard self-reflection I'm talking about. This is not an easy conversation, but you've got to have this conversation with yourself to have an amazing 2017. Right? So your mission is to spend an hour in a meditative place in the next few weeks. Yeah, you're going to be with family, but you got to get out of the family vortex lest it suck you in and spend that time with yourself. Prioritize yourself. Go to a meditative place, not to meditate, because in meditation, we let go. We release all that is. We surrender to a greater power. We focus on not thinking, but this is about actually thinking in the true way of self-analysis. This is the hard self-reflection that the philosophers must do. And we are philosopher kings, are we not? So we have to spend this time in meditation and in self-analysis. What worked this year for you? What didn't work? What do you really want? What would be your ideal? At least get clear on what you want. Even if you have no idea how to get there, write down what you want and start to look at it every day, because that alone will propel you in that direction in mysterious and wondrous ways. And an addendum to that, this holiday season, prioritize your connection to yourself. The family vortex is going to come. There's going to be events. There's going to be dinners, and people are going to try to suck you in to the family vortex where you can lose yourself effectively in a pattern of behavior that may not be in your best benefit. So here's what I recommend. Block time for yourself this holiday season. Spend every morning by yourself. Spend every evening after a certain time by yourself. Make a consistent time where you are not with friends and family. And they're going to get a little bit upset. They're going to say, oh, but honey, or sweet, listen, why can't you come out with us and do this? And it's like, no. This is the time I need to take for me so that when I'm out with the family, I show up as the man I want to be. And think about how powerful that is. You're taking time to go into your bat cave to reflect and to train and prepare so that when you are out and about among the family and the people that you love, you get to show up 100% knowing you're rock solid. I've always found that when I take a little more time for me, then when I go into the family dynamic, I am just resonating positive energy, right? I don't get sucked into arguments. I don't get sucked into judging other people. I can love people more fully if I do this. I hope this is resonating, right? So you've got to prioritize connection to yourself. And I want you to make a commitment in this moment, one small action that you can do. Go to your calendar, block 2 hours a day, figure out what that time block is and do not sacrifice it for anything, right? What's that time that's for you? That is what is so vital. So vital. So this has been, again, just an honor to be with you all. Truly. Truly. 2017 is a big year. Very big year. We're going to have a lot to go through together. And I'm going to be sending out a survey in the next few days. And I'm going to be asking every Spear member what they want for 2017. What can we do for you? What resources and trainings can we bring to you? What do you want to learn? And what can the Brotherhood do? Do you want more live classes? Do you want more accountability groups? Are you really looking forward to the new workout programs? What programs do you want in Trainerize? These are all the questions that we want to ask to get set up for 2017. Are you interested in a Spear service project? Because we're currently starting to launch that. We're going to be traveling outside of the country to help those in need. Is that something you're interested in? So I'm going to ask all those questions, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But it has been just an honor to be here with you guys. I love you so much, and I'm here for you. We're all here for you. So please go ahead and let us know, and let's have a great month of December. Merry frickin' Christmas. I'll see you guys soon.